we have Del Sutton with his story, Go to the Gym.
Right there.
I want to go to the gym. It was a beautiful, crisp fall day, and it was bike riding weather. And I was full of inspiration riding my bike from San Francisco to Walnut Creek and back. I put my bike on the BART train to go under the bay. Then I saw the bay, rode inland, admired the architecture, mountains, and landscapes I've never seen being from Arizona. All of a sudden, I knew something was deeply wrong with me. I felt stunned and terrified. At that moment, that feeling of being sick was 100% stronger than the feeling of just getting a cold. I knew deep down that something was very wrong. My intuition told me to go to the place. Wait a second. Let me back up. I was 40 years old in 1988, in great shape, and my blood work told me I have AIDS with no symptom. I was consumed with fear about getting sick and dying. In 1981, I heard something on the radio. The announcer said, GRID, Gay-Related Immune Deficiency Syndrome. I was 21 years old, and electric went through my whole body because I knew I had it. I did not focus on my work much, less anything else in my life, except to stay sober from drugs and alcohol. At that point in time, I had 3 years sober. This life was not mine that was being lived. I felt frozen and hopeless. My intuition told me to go to the place in the whole planet that had the most knowledge about AIDS. It was San Francisco, California. I moved there to prepare for getting sick and getting cutting-edge care. I've been living in San Francisco for about 6 months, educating my health in both Eastern and Western medicine. When that feeling that something was wrong hit, I focused all my energy to pedal my way to the Metropolitan Community Church in San Francisco in the Castro district. I made my way to the church and I asked someone there right away, can you take me to the church? Take me to the hospital. I wanted to address what the change was in my body. I felt an urgency to get myself to the hospital. I left my bike at the church and never saw it again. Within hours, everything changed. I was uncomfortably shivering uncontrollably. My temperature was 105 degrees, burning up and freezing at the same time. My doctors did test after test, and they were looking for cancer in my lymph node, and I knew it wasn't cancer, and it pissed me off. They took it out. More tests. I felt strong and I didn't give up, and I told myself, just breathe. They found out that it was disseminated Mycobacterium avium complex in my body, in my lungs, in my brain, in my guts. Everybody has this organism in their body. I just did not have an immune system. The measure for that is T cells. I had 22. A healthy person has approximately 1,600. The doctor sent me to the hospice. I saw people dying around me, and I felt sad. I kept on saying in my head, because I couldn't speak, I want to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. Finally, I was able to mumble, gym. Somebody heard me. After about a month going to the gym, a strong, calm, elder, gorgeous nurse walked up to me. She didn't tell me I was being unrealistic. She didn't tell me. What she did was she was peaceful. She really didn't use any words. She was focused, committed, and on target. She put me in a wheelchair. Then she took me to the gym. It wasn't really a gym. It was the physical therapy bed. And I sat there. She put a beanbag on each toe of my feet, the toes of my feet. Then I lifted them. I felt like I just moved a mountain, and I did it on the first try. After that, I went to the physical therapy gym every day. But that moment, that tiny movement was the beginning of my life coming back. From there, my health got a little better. I made my bed. Another victory. I felt proud, and I showed off my cleaning space, my space that was clean. I made a bed. I started walking a little farther each day with the hospital, on the hospital grounds, hallways, etc. And one day, I walked down to the park at Laguna Honda Hospital in San Francisco. Way down there, it was like a valley, and I said, I can't make this, but I did. And I picked this huge magnolia flower, and living in Tucson, Arizona my whole life, I've never seen a flower that big. I picked it, and I brought it back to my room, and I put it next to my bed. When I looked at it, that flower reminded me, you're still here. I was so sad that no blood family members were able to see me. My mom, my two brothers had passed. My sister had a plethora of things going on in her life. My nieces and nephews were 10, 20 years younger than me, so they were busy living a life. They couldn't see me, couldn't visit me. I was hurt. Yet, I had forgiven them. I know fear was actually a big part of it. I know that now. I had a friend in Tucson, Arizona, Bruce Cole, visit me from home. He took the train all the way to San Francisco. And I made friends in San Francisco, and they came to visit me. And I had a gorgeous friend, Lori Naslund, who looked like Sybil Shepherd. She was my beard. And she came, and I felt loved. The nurses began bringing food from home. I mean, chicken soup tasted so good. More love. Doctors and nurses showed up for me. Little by little, my strength began to come back. Then one day, they released me to leave. I was renting a room to sleep in the Haight-Ashbury right off the huge freeway, and it was noisy as fuck. I remember the nurse coming over and giving me shots of Epigen for my low blood cell count. That was scary. I was weak. At 100 pounds, I literally lost my ass, and when I looked in the mirror, I went, holy shit. My dad, let me tell you about my best friend from 9th grade, Danny. Amazing friend to this day. Danny called my dad and asked where I was, and my dad would not tell Danny. After numerous tries asking where I was, Danny went to my dad's place and knocked on the door. Pissed off, Danny said to him in a stern voice, and Danny didn't do that much, and asked, where is Del? My dad finally said softly, he's in San Francisco with AIDS. Danny immediately got into the car from Tucson, Arizona. His wife, Lori, supported him driving nonstop to San Francisco, California to pick me up. We put everything in the car that can fit, me and my clothes, and drove on through. Danny dropped me off at my sister's house, and her German Shepherd and her helped me heal after approximately a year and a half. Then I got my own place, and after 2 years of healing, I was able to get back in shape, ride my bike again, yay, and go back to work. And I got involved helping those who were sick, much like me. I began to pay it forward in countless ways. I mended all my relationships with my family, even though Dad didn't help much. He kept his distance. I still love him. I see life as precious now for others and myself. I make sure that I tell people that I care about, I love them. I live in San Diego now after a lifetime in Arizona. I moved here last October 5th after being in boot camp here in 1981. I love it. I'm thinking about a decision I made the moment I knew something was wrong on my bike ride. Because somewhere, before my body was strong, before anything changed, something in me had already decided, I want to go to the gym. The decision to keep going, that's what I wanted. A solution doesn't always show up when you're strong. Sometimes it shows up when I'm at my weakest. Sometimes it's just a quiet little thought, a small voice, something that doesn't even make sense yet. And if you listen to it, it will follow you even a little, and it can lead you back. If something in your life feels off, listen. There may be a voice already pointing you the way forward. Follow that. There might be the part of you that already knows. Thank you.